Hey everybody, it's Safia Marco, Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again, and I am here to maybe, maybe finish reviewing Woody Allen movies, at least for the 5 or 6 movies that I promised to review. And I am here to maybe close it out by doing a review of Annie Hall, which is supposed to be his best movie of all time? Question mark? And I don't know. I mean, you guys can tell. And this will be a spoiler review too. So if you still want to watch Annie Hall, then you just go and suffer. You go and do that right now. And don't blame me because I warned you. Okay, now you guys know I don't like movies that end with the main character dying. It's usually out of some sort of an excuse. It's out of some sort of a sacrifice that the main character is like, oh, I have to do this. It just has to be this way. I hate movies where, especially like a romance movie where the couple isn't together at the end. And so that's where this movie is. So those two types of movies, I really hate those kind of endings. Sometimes it works. Like American Beauty, I thought that's a good example. But even in that, it's like, that's a movie where that the best character in the entire movie dies at the end. So it's like, yeah, this is another one of those movies where it's like, the whole movie's a lot of fun until it reaches a certain point. It's a lot of fun. It's funny. It's very funny. This is actually the most funny Woody Allen movie that I have seen, and I was laughing consistently throughout almost the whole thing, but then it takes a turn. And I appreciate Woody Allen for trying something different and for doing something that he wants to do. And I'm not going to say like, oh, he should have made it another way to please me. Like, I'm fully on board with this vision that he did where, not every romance is going to work out. But the thing is that he picked the worst one to not have it work out. And I don't know why he did this. Him and Diane Keaton, the movie's all about, I guess, the movie doesn't really have a plot except for, about this guy and his relationship, this famous comedian Alvy, and his relationship with Annie Hall, who's this young woman played by Diane Keaton, and the whole movie centers around that. But like, he picked the worst couple to not have them work out because they work so well together that at the end of the movie, after like all is said and done and he's doing the wrap up and he's doing the famous, Woody Allen ending where he voices it over, or he shows you a bunch of clips, he pours it all out at the end. He's like, ugh, here you go. Here's my Woody Allen. Ugh. Did you like that? That's what he does at the end. It's like a big ugh right in the audience's faces. I wish you guys could have seen me actually doing that gesture, because I think you can what do you call it? You can infer what kind of gesture I was doing when I said that at the end of Woody Allen's movies, he likes to go ugh right in your face. And it always feels good. But this time, it didn't feel good, okay? This time, I am very upset because at the end of the movie, he shows you like a compilation of like, oh my god, look at all these fun, beautiful, romantic, funny moments that they had together the whole movie. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that romantic? And it's like, why? That's so upsetting. I guess it's realistic. It is realistic. It can happen sometimes. And then I guess you could look back and say, like, oh, even though they didn't end up together, like, people could look back and say, like, oh, well, you know, we had a good run. But it was just so bizarre because the whole movie I was thinking, you know, let me look at Woody Allen's movies because, let's see, one, nope, not that one. So Hannah and Her Sisters, no. Manhattan, well, she was a good love interest. No, but no. Crimes and Misdemeanors, no. Was there another one I watched this year? I don't think so. I mean, at least not one where Woody himself starred in it, which is, you know, typically what I prefer in a Woody Allen movie. You know, I mean, that is kind of the point. You watch a Woody Allen movie to see Woody Allen. You don't watch a Woody Allen movie to see that piece of shit in Match Point, who's like the worst main character of all time. But that's a sidebar, because I love Woody Allen's movies. I love Woody Allen as an artist. But it was so jarring to me in this movie because the relationship that he had with this woman, it wasn't perfect. No relationship is perfect. No friendship is perfect. No family relationships are perfect. Every single relationship in life has problems. And this one in particular, to me, the whole movie, I was thinking, wow, this is so cool. Because it's like they both found their one. They both found someone who they needed. She found someone to encourage her to, you know, open up more and to, you know, sing. She wanted to be a singer and to, you know, just to open up. And then he found someone who was exactly like him. The whole movie, I never thought that she was some, like, closeted, like, hippie, weird, you know, stiff that she turns out to be at the end. I thought, this woman is exactly like him. They're so good together. They're so cute together. They're so nice together. They're a great movie couple. A great one. On the poster of the movie, you see them together. And yet, they don't end up together. It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. I mean, and I wish I was warned, too, because Crimes and Misdemeanors, at least that movie, it had two stories, and the second one where Woody Allen got friend-zoned, which was horrible, that one, it was only one of two stories, but this one was the main story, and boom, at the end of the movie, Woody Allen doesn't just get in the friend zone, he gets in a different time zone. She puts him in a different time zone, because she says, because what happens is, there's the part in the movie where it gets bad, and I know that I'm not even talking about all the other stuff in the movie, but I'm so frustrated. I am so fucking frustrated. If Safi was in here, we would have, you know, gone back and we would have started, okay, at the beginning, now let's talk about every single little scene. But this is just me. I'm pissed off. I'm frustrated. This is my last Woody Allen movie, and I gotta see my man get friend-zoned? How dare you, Woody? How dare you? Okay, but the part in the movie where it gets bad is they go to California together. They're already having kind of relationship issues that they're not addressing. You know, like, there's no attempt to, like, communicate and to try to say, like, okay, like, this is what's going on. Honestly, like, there's nothing. It's just like a total, like, oh, okay, we're just gonna shove this under the rug. And they go to California, and there's some shenanigans that they get into there, and she basically discovers that she loves California. She loves free love, even though free love is over. It's the 70s now, bitch. Uh, so she moves to California after Woody Allen kicks her out of his apartment, which she wanted to break up with him anyway. Very, very depressing. And so she moves to California, and she says at the end of the movie, after he goes to see her, because it's like, oh, look, maybe he's going to win her back. Because I want to know, too, what came out first, Manhattan or Annie Hall? Because it felt like that was the scene at the end where the guy gets the girl. The guy goes and gets the girl. But it wasn't. And she said, You're exactly like New York, Woody Allen. You are you are New York personified. And I said, oh shit, she's not going to move back to New York because she associates the entire city of New York with Woody Allen. And she didn't just put him in the friend zone. She put him all the way in a different time zone. I mean, it's brutal. It's depressing. And he really, Woody Allen, he knows how to hammer things. He knows how to stack emotions and how to stack mood and stack a bunch of feelings one after the other to make a big feeling. I don't know what you call that. It just create a crescendo of emotion. But like at the end of the movie, you see, it might have also been Diane Keaton, and there's this play. It's a scene from a play. And it's a scene where it's basically the final scene between Woody and Annie, where, she permanently friend zones him. But in this scene, she says, no, I'll go back to New York with you. And I thought that was really creative. I thought it was a great twist because Woody Allen said, I'm working on a play. It was his first play. And I thought that was actually kind of interesting. That was an interesting little idea. But it was so depressing. It was so sad. And they tried to have the little thing at the end. The thing where like the guy and the girl are still friends. And it's like, yeah, sometimes that happens. But like it was just so depressing. Because in my head I was like, okay, like, when are you guys just going to go back to that ugly ass gross apartment and start having weird red light sex again? Like, why don't you guys just drop the act? Like, it's just insane to me. Like, Woody Allen said he's going to end up with the 16-year-old girl character in Manhattan, which that movie, at least he ends up with a girl at the end because he didn't want the other woman. I'll never forget that. It's like, you're in New York and you're Woody Allen. What do you choose? A 16-year-old? No, wait, no. No. She was turning 18. So a 17-year-old woman or a 40-year-old woman who's like kind of haggard and she cheats on you and shit. Did she cheat on him? I can't remember. But like, and Woody Allen's like, oh yeah, she did. I'm going to choose only one other person because there are only two women in all of New York. And conveniently, the one that I'm going to choose is the one that's not 18 yet. She's going to turn 18 pretty soon. Don't worry about it because he's Woody Allen. He can do what he wants. But in this movie, like, it's insane. Like, how did they not end up together at the end? It's so frustrating. Like, it's so frustrating, too, because I don't want to end my Woody Allen week with a movie where Woody Allen got friend-zoned. Is there any other movie that I haven't seen of Woody Allen's where he doesn't get friend-zoned at the end? Because it's really frustrating. It's upsetting, actually. I mean, it was such a nice movie. It was such a comforting movie. It was like a comfort food dish in movie form. In fact, that's what I give this movie. Safi and I, we have had chicken dinner, which consists of chicken, mashed potatoes, and corn, or broccoli and gravy, for 3 nights, and it was really, really good. We did a great team effort all 3 nights to make the dinner, and really, really good. And that's exactly what this movie is. It's like a comfort movie. It's like a movie that you could put on while you're sick, because it's so funny. There's lots of like skits in the movie. Like, the movie is very chaotic, but it kind of works to the movie's benefit, because that's how the movie is. And that's the great thing about Woody Allen in comparison to other filmmakers, is that, I know that a lot of people probably could look at Woody Allen's movies and say, like, oh, they're all alike. But I kind of disagree. I think that every movie of his is so drastically different in terms of aesthetic and just everything. The only really consistent thing is that you can feel Woody Allen inserting himself in the plots literally and metaphorically sometimes, which is great. I love it. I think that that's a fantastic thing to do as an artist, and he does a great job. He's so inspiring. He's such an inspiring guy. He's such a great filmmaker. And this movie, though, it's upsetting because it's such a good movie, and then all of a sudden it just smacks you in the face, and then it goes, ugh! And it's like, why'd you do that, man? Why'd you have to do that to me, Woody Allen? Like, what did I do? Like, this movie, like, why do people think this is like his greatest movie? Like, he doesn't even he doesn't even get it at the end. He doesn't even get that. He doesn't get anything. He says at the end of the movie, the thing I've learned about relationships, and this is my best Woody Allen voice right now, the thing that I've learned about relationships is that they suck and they're really chaotic, and we do them anyway because we want to have sex. Like, that's his analysis of relationships. At the end of the movie, he's like, the thing I learned about relationships is that, if it doesn't work out with Annie Hall, you can always go back to the 17-year-old girl who's turning 18 in a couple of weeks. Like in Manhattan. So, but I'm really frustrated, to be honest. Like, when I watch a Woody Allen movie, I want Woody Allen to end up with the girl. And in this case, it's just absolutely egregious. I suppose I could talk about some things I liked in the movie, but I'll say this, guys. I'm going to rank this movie. It's tough, because I have a Woody Allen bias now. Like, I just love his art as a whole. So it's going to be really tough for me to rank this movie near the bottom of the movies of the year. But I'm really tempted to do it just because it pisses me off so much. Like, it just, I can't in good conscience say, like, oh yeah, that movie's like in my top 10. At least Crimes and Misdemeanors had a point. It had a point to where it was just all dark. It was a dark mood piece, and it was supposed to be, nothing works out at the end. It's horrible, it's evil, it's awful, it makes you feel sick. But this movie, it had that point, but the point was pointless because it was soft, because these characters were great together. They had some kind of problems that they never figured out, but, like, they were great together, these characters. Like, I thought, this girl is weird. Woody Allen, he could have any woman he wants. If Woody Allen made a movie where he hooked up with Scarlett Johansson instead of the guy in Match Point, I would accept that. I would say, Woody Allen, you can do whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. You made Hannah and Her Sisters. You made Midnight in Paris. You made Manhattan, Match Point, Crimes and Misdemeanors. You do whatever you want. Just don't do anything bad. But anyways, like, what was I saying? I can't remember my train of thought. But, like, no. Like, I want Woody Allen to end up with the girl in his movies. You know why? Because, and this is something that I never realized for a long time, but in a lot of the movies from the modern days, they do not let weird guys get the girl. They don't let characters who weigh over 200 pounds end up with a girl in a movie. They don't let it happen. Period. You guys could probably come up with some examples where it happens, but the general thing is that it doesn't happen. The weird guys, the weird guy characters, they never end up with the girl. You look at Hallmark movies, it's a pretty guy and a pretty girl. You look at shitty ass fuck Marvel movies, fucking fuck up the ass, pretty guys and pretty girls. You look at the new Superman movie, pretty guys and pretty girls. You look at every single Hollywood movie that comes out, it's pretty guys and pretty girls. And it's basically like social engineering. It's like a thing of, like, instead of letting there be some kind of variety, it's like they're trying to hammer in a message. They're trying to hammer in a point that this is how it should be. And to me, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's awful. And, the time when I really realized this was in 2022. And I watched a movie. I think it was Bette Davis's first movie. And Bette Davis was kind of hot as well, guys. She was kind of hot, but then she smoked and she got not hot. That's a good lesson for you guys. Don't smoke, because you're gonna make me not attracted to you anymore. But anyways, in that movie, this movie came out in the 1930s. It's a very old movie. And there's a character in the movie. He's like 400 pounds. He looks like some big fat banker guy. He looks like he's straight out of Monopoly. He looks like a 1930s character. But at the end of that movie, he gets the main woman. He gets the main female character, or her sister, I can't remember, but everyone was happy at the end of the movie. That was the point. It was a happy ending. It was a really good movie. I can't remember what it was called, but it was actually really good. But when I saw that, I thought, nobody nowadays would ever do that. There would never be a movie nowadays where a guy who looks like that gets the girl. And if he does, it's not going to be the main girl. It's not going to be, Margot Robbie or someone like that. It's going to be some random character, that just happens to come in the movie at a certain time. Like, it's going to be some trash small-time character. It's not going to be the main one. They're not going to let that happen. And Woody Allen's movies, to me, one of the reasons why they're so good is because you get that feeling, you get the good feeling every single movie. When you see Woody Allen and he's got whatever character that he's got, main character, and you think, wow, that's inspiring. It's real. and it's good and it's positive, and we need more of that and less of like this shitty like artificial like social engineering crap. Like, where's the variety? You know, like, I want to see like a movie where like Woody Allen gets the hot girl, and he and her, she doesn't even have to be hot, but like he stays with her the whole movie. They end up together. They're happy together. Like, that's great. That's heartwarming. That's very, very good. But they won't do it. And it was so disappointing with this movie, Annie Hall. This is the movie. This is his supposed best movie. Nowhere near being his best movie, by the way. Not in a long shot. It's basically like an hour and a half of stand-up comedy routines. But he doesn't even end up with the girl at the end. Like, how could this movie even be considered to be his best movie? He doesn't end up with the girl at the end. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I might be... I don't want to sound old-fashioned, but, like, if I watch a movie about a romance, I want to see the guy end up with the girl at the end. And this one in particular was really shocking. Because the entire movie, I was thinking, she's weird. She's just like him. They're perfect together. They had some issues here and there. I mean, obviously, people have issues. But it just got worse and worse. And then at the end, the last, like, 20 minutes, I was like, okay, this is weird. Because it's taken this nihilistic turn. And maybe it has to do with Woody Allen's, like, mindset. You know, maybe he, in that period of his life, when he made that movie, I don't know, guys, I don't know. Maybe he was upset. Maybe he had some kind of a hang-up, and he took it out on the audience with this movie. Because I was thoroughly upset. I was thoroughly disappointed. It really let me down that these two fictional characters didn't end up together. You know, it really ruined my day. And the day was already over. In fact, I was eating dessert when it happened. And it happened. And I was like, wow. My dessert suddenly gave me a stomachache. I'm just kidding, guys. But anyways, this has been a chaotic review, but it is very fitting for this movie in particular. So I want to talk about a couple of things I liked. I thought that Diane Keaton was good, except for the last 20 minutes. I thought she was bad at that point. There were a lot of actually really, really nice female characters in terms of, like, Woody Allen had his pick this movie. Like, it was like every single woman in the universe in New York, they all wanted Woody Allen. The movie also had like a meta quality to it. It had a meta element where he would talk to like random people on the street about his problems. And there were also points, really, really creative kind of, you know, fun things. Like, there was one point where him and Annie, they go and they look at like past relationships and things, like it's like a museum exhibit, and they did some cool split screen effects to make it look like they're there looking at the past and all this cool stuff like that. There were some really, really funny moments too. There was a really funny moment while they waited in line to see a movie, and there was this jackass behind them, and he kept on talking and talking and talking about this guy. I think a filmmaker? I don't know. But then finally, Woody Allen actually pulls the real guy out, and the guy says that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I thought that was so clever and fun, so unexpected. Like, this movie, I was gonna say, this is a great date movie. Like, it's just such a fun and funny time until the last 20 minutes. But then the last 20 minutes happens, and I just feel like just empty and depressed. And probably the funniest part of the movie for me, my favorite part, or I guess the funniest joke, was when Woody goes over to Annie's family's house for dinner. And he knew it was going to be awkward. He knew it was going to be quiet and weird. And he was prepared, but it was so awkward. It was so funny. I love that. It reminded me of, like, Meet the Parents and stuff like that. And I love, like, Meet the Parents. Like, I wish that there were more movies like Meet the Parents where, you know, they balance, like, awkwardness with, you know, being really funny and also kind of heartwarming and comforting, you know, stuff like that. But my favorite part was Christopher Walken. He is Annie's brother, I believe. And he is just, wow. He is hilarious in this movie. He takes Woody into his bedroom. And it reminded me of a scene of from The Adventures of Barry McKenzie, which, if you haven't seen that movie, it's a really, really obscure but really funny Australian movie. It's really out there. It's really bizarre. There's a similar scene to this where a male family member takes the main character into their bedroom, and then they make a really dark, inappropriate confession. And the confession that Christopher Walken makes, he's like, sometimes when I'm driving, you know, you can relate to this because you're an artist. And the way that he delivered this line, too, it was so weird. And it was so weird in a good way, in a really funny way. He was like, sometimes when I'm driving, I look at the other car on the other side of the road, and I think about, what if I just turned the car and, you know, had a head-on collision with that other car? What if I just ended it all right there? And Woody Allen was so freaked out. And it was so funny because, you know, his character, he's always so outspoken. And he's so over the top. And he's so, like, some people say annoying. I don't think he's annoying. I think he's fun. I could talk to Woody Allen all the time. I don't care. He's funny. He's a great funny guy. The characters that he plays, at least. And but this was a scene where he was taken back and he was like, holy shit, like, that's weird. And then a couple of minutes later, you see the brother is actually driving her and Woody Allen home at night. And that was just such a perfect payoff, because it was like, you already laughed at the joke before that, you know, where they're in the bedroom together. It's just Christopher Walken talking, and you think, oh, that's the joke. But no, the joke comes after that, where the driving part was the actual payoff. So that's how good it was. It was like a double joke. That's what I'm saying about, like, how Woody Allen is good at, like, stacking things on top of each other. And there were some other funny moments. Like, I think another really good moment, probably one of my favorite moments of the movie, there's this part where they make you think they're going to break up, and Woody Allen hooks up with Shelley Duvall, which, Shelley Duvall's nice. And I was thinking, that's kind of funny. Like, I didn't expect to see her in this movie. You know, Shelley Duvall, too, a lot of people have said she looks a lot like Mia Goth. And now that I've heard that, that's all I think about when I see Shelley Duvall. I think about Mia Goth. If you don't know who Mia Goth is, she's a really vanilla actress who's really boring. But Shelley Duvall's a lot better. I think Shelley Duvall's like a 10 in terms of acting skills, not appearance. And then Mia Goth is like a 5. She's just really boring, really vanilla. So that's the big difference. That's why Shelley Duvall is still on top. Shelley Duvall is really, really talented. And, well, she was, because she's dead now. And rest in peace, Shelley Duvall. She was a great actress. I loved her movies. She was and I'm not going to go on a big thing about Shelley Duvall, but if you guys haven't seen, she was in a movie called Boltneck. Really, really good. My Teacher Ate My Homework. That was a really good kids movie. Mrs. Pigglewiggle. I mean, she was a really good actress. She was a really, really good one. But Woody Allen hooks up with her, and then all of a sudden Annie calls him back to her apartment. And she says that, you think that maybe she was like lonely or something, but like, no, she had a spider in her bathroom. She had 2 big spiders. And there's this really hilarious joke where, it's Woody Allen with a magazine and a tennis racket, and he goes into her bathroom, and the door's kind of ajar, so it's kind of like half open, and it just is this one single shot, where you see him like destroying her bathroom, trying to get the spider, killing these spiders, and it's so weird and so funny. And then they hook back up, they get back together, and I thought, man, he knew what he was doing here, because there was like a vacant space. There was like an emptiness that I felt until they got together again. And when they got together, I was like, oh, thank God. Like they were so much better together than him and Shelley Duvall and other characters in the movie. But yeah, so I don't know if there's much else to say in terms of like, as I said, they go to California. All the rest of the movie is basically just shenanigans, just random shenanigans, and, Woody Allen's philosophy and his family and all that stuff. And all of it's really good. Like, I would have said this is a fun movie. I would have still said, and this is the important part, guys. Out of all the Woody Allen movies that I've watched this year, even before they didn't get together at the end of the movie, I would have put this at the bottom of the list. And the reason is because for all the good stuff about the good stuff about this movie is the comedy, the jokes, really, really funny for the most part. Great filmmaking, very, very unique, interesting things that he does throughout the entire movie. But most importantly, him and Annie Hall and their chemistry together. Not apart, but together. But the thing is that is ruined at the end of the movie. But number 2, even without that, the movie has a big issue, which is that it kind of feels aimless. It feels like a series of funny scenes, funny memories that were kind of strung along together. There's almost kind of like a documentary feel to it, in kind of a weird way that never really, it's a weird thing. It's a very weird plot structure that this movie has. And I think that, I look at all of his other movies that I saw this year, and all of them had much better structure. They have much better just everything. And I gotta say, too, it's really sad because I think that Annie Hall is Woody Allen's best love interest in terms of the best love interest for him. Like, him and her worked perfectly together. even more than the character from Hannah and Her Sisters, which the ending to Hannah and Her Sisters is still the best ending out of all the endings that he's done. Probably. I don't know. Manhattan's really good. What happened at the end of Manhattan is what I expected to happen at the end of Annie Hall. So, okay, let's look this up together because, okay, 1979 versus what? When did Annie Hall come out? And by the way, guys, I have terrible allergies. Safi and I both have allergies now. And there has been a resurgence in horrible allergies. And now this page isn't loading shit. Okay. Where is it? Annie Hall. Okay, here it is. 1977. Okay, so that's interesting because again, I expected for what happened at the end of Manhattan would happen at the end of Annie Hall. So I thought maybe he made Annie Hall second, and Manhattan was a happy ending for Woody Allen at least, and so maybe he tried to subvert that in Annie Hall, but it looks like it's the opposite. It looks like in Manhattan he tried to undo what was done in Annie Hall. So anyways, I don't know what else to say about this movie. I'm really upset about it. I think that it's I don't like it. I mean, I can't say that it's bad, but I don't like it. And I don't know what else to say other than that. I do think, and I will say this, it is still better than Alice. Alice is the first ever Woody Allen movie that I watched all the way through. I watched it in 2023. And this is still a lot better than that. I mean, that movie, it was just way too out there at the end, and it was way too dry. There were some things about it that I liked. It definitely is the worst that I've seen so far. But, this was a disappointing end for Woody Allen, his movies that I've watched at least. I hope that... Can anyone else please give me some hope? Is there another movie of his where he ends up with the girl at the end? Because I don't want to end... there's gotta be one. Let me find one right now. Come on, Woody Allen. I can't believe after Manhattan, come on. And now there's a fucking ad. Damn it. Is he in the Purple Rose of Cairo? People like that one. No, he's not. Fuck. Now I'm really fucked. Cafe Society, that's 2016. He's already 90. Okay, come on. Come on. Love and no, that one's probably depressing. New York Stories. Come on. Woody Allen, come on. You gotta end up with the girl. No. It's some random movie. It's a documentary. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Come on. There's gotta be one. There's gotta be one, Woody. You gotta do it. Husbands and Wives. A hilarious comedy about being married. I hope that Woody Allen gets the girl in this movie, or else I'll have a panic attack live on air. If he doesn't, I don't know. I'm just so frustrated. Holy shit, guys. That's his most popular movie, and he didn't even get it at the end. Come on. What a disappointment. Woody Allen, how could you do that? So anyways, that's all I have to say. This has been kind of a rambling review, but it's fit the movie. The movie is very much like this review if you guys still are watching the video and haven't seen the movie. But anyways, please like this video and comment and tell me what you thought of Annie Hall. Just leave me alone. Just let me mourn Woody Allen's movies. Let me mourn his possible. I mean, it's just so disappointing, this movie. And then please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more honest movie reviews. And if you'd like to see bonus content, then please head on over to Patreon. We will be doing a lot more content for Patreon in the near future, which will include all of my future film projects, or at least the behind the scenes and short films. And then if you join any of the tiers, you will get your name in the credits for all of my film projects, short or full length movies. And so, yeah, goodbye everybody. See you soon.